There we go.
Oh, there works.
There we
Nice.
go. And we're live. Let's see. I guess I'll figure out the recordings later. Is AMD going to record? I'm recording our Discord call, but let's see. Should be recording. All right.
By the way, Rero, you're coming in very quiet.
Hello? That's surprising.
So,
Do I need to boost myself?
Probably.
Well,
I have you at like max volume already.
let's try 5 decibels.
Okay, that's good.
Well, this is cool. All right. Welcome everybody to the Pew Pew Research Club podcast. I'm your host, Rero. I don't know how to run a podcast, but the main reason why I'm starting a podcast is because I miss you guys, and it's been like 4 months since I was last in here. So I figured since I'm not gaming anymore for now, we start this podcast so we can just talk and shoot the gun. Well, shoot the conversation.
mm,
Okay.
So
cool, man.
So when are you thinking of returning to gaming? Or what has to be accomplished before you can do that?
Yeah.
I'll probably need to get a full time job and then uh financial stability. So, but it's something I've been thinking about coming back slowly.
Mm.
Okay. Wait, so before all this happened, did you not have a job?
Yeah, I didn't have a job. So
Oh,
I told most of my story to Rooftop, Lexi, and you, Chu. So Dead Set is kind of blind, but I feel
okay.
kind of outnumbered here because there's so many bunnies now. One of the things I'm going to put for the podcast art is the AI generated bunnies with guns. I think I sent it a long time ago. I was messing around with art generation.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
anyway, I feel that we have a unique community. Would you say so?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we have like international
Yeah.
great group of gamers. So for those who are listening, this is the Pew Pew Research Club, which is the Discord where we play our games, right?
I think it's more like
Yeah.
a group of friends, yeah. Play
Group of
games together.
friends.
Yeah.
And so the I guess if you want to think before that we were called the what do you remember what we called before that?
Um, I don't. I don't think we had an official name. I don't even remember what we were. Yeah.
Team
It-
Team Azrael.
Team Azrael. I think Tony said
Oh.
Team Oof,
Oh yeah,
optimizing
yeah, yeah. Oof
something
Squad, yeah.
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So anyway, for these podcasts, I just wanted everything to be very free flow, conversational. So there's no reason to uh, be stressed or anything. It's just us talking and
What kind of topics are we gonna talk about, and what are the, I guess, the limits, like things that we
uh,
shouldn't be talking?
well, so I created a Gmail account for this podcast, right? So everything, talk about whatever you want that's related that you're comfortable like putting public.
Mm.
If unless I mean I can always edit it out if you don't want it to. So I guess this is more we're talking about our gaming history and our
Mm.
Yeah.
gaming present and our I guess what we're doing in the future.
Mm.
So right now it's sort of downtime where it's getting warm, but I expect in the winter you guys will be more active, right?
About the same for me.
About the
No.
same.
Yeah, unless there's like some major lifestyle changes, then it's pretty much the same. Like I play when I have time, which is usually most of the time,
Mhm.
except when I'm working.
That's basically how it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, do you guys know how the name PPRC came to be?
I think you were asking for some name changes, maybe, and I might have said something about Pew Pew. I said something Pew Pew. I don't know who said Research Club, but I did say. I remember saying Pew Pew.
I find that it's actually not too off from what we originally intended to do because we were trying to devise or research for, like strategies
Mhm.
to like, deal with problems in games. So yeah, there was some research involved.
Yeah.
So the actual like the acronym came from the Doki Doki Literature Club visual novel. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen the game. Yeah. Never
Have you
played it.
guys not played it? It's free.
Oh, it's free. What?
Just
Yeah, I have it. I have it in my library, just never touched it, along with many other games.
let's just say it's mentally shocking. So in any case, I took the acronym from that because it kind of stuck. So I just added the pew pew and then the research club at the end. But there's something called the Pew Research Center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had. Yeah.
for all the people listening, that's we're not affiliated with them at all. They do actual research.
I think it was just, yeah. We play games, but we play it in a way where we're learning. We're coming up with strategies, and we're studying some like existing tactics, and we're applying it and seeing how it works in games.
So what would you say is the first game we kind of found each other in? Like I know we did Sandstorm, but was there anything before that?
It was
Insurgency one, maybe.
Insurgency.
Insurgency.
It's definitely Insurgency.
And then Arma, yeah. Arma 3.
I'm not
I,
after. Yeah.
that was later, but like in the very beginning, I think I met Pony first.
Mm.
Yeah, Cern. It was back in Cernix.
Yeah.
Yeah, Insurgency 1.
Yeah, Cernix and the other one, yeah, the I forgot the server, similar to Cernix, but not
INS,
as
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I played on the INS, but I never actually played on Cernix. So you guys
Like
played
it was
there.
kind of interchangeable. Like people will play like on one server, and then people would just go to whichever server is populated at the time,
Yeah.
and then people would go like equally to either server. So it was kind of like, to me, it was kind of the same.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the high player count. That's why it's always chaotic in the old Insurgency.
Yeah, and it was like,
Yeah.
because there's a high player count, it's like each mistake itself is not too punishing. So then
Mm.
that led to a relatively carefree play.
I just like it was. Sometimes I was on the front lines, like fragging, and then on the other hand, you're like in the back lines, just chilling around with the guys and throwing like Molotovs at each other, waiting for your turn to take point. Is that it? That's how I remember it.
Mm. I
I
remember being
remember
able
it
to
was
use. Sorry, go ahead.
I remember it was like a lot of times it was just me and TRA, just like kill farming in the most efficient way possible.
TRA, the Righteous Asian, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Chu, I think you were like either number one, number two player in the server at one point, and
yeah.
then I would only take MVP like once every in a blue moon.
Yeah, because like the thing with like Insurgency 1 is that the bots are very predictable. Like their spawn points and then how they behave is very predictable. So once you understand that, it's like, okay, it's very easy to kill farm.
I remember Saint Chu. You had the bolt action, yeah, and you had the SemX scope, and that's all you use for some games, and you would fight bots like close quarter, like right in front of them, with just the bolt action. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. It gave myself a challenge to work with in a satisfying way.
We all had our bolt action moments. It was great. I'm actually glad I was able to capture some of it in Sandstorm for that video.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that set, the video?
Yeah. I think I saw that, yeah.
And so then I think we actually formally met in Sandstorm, really. I guess I kind of saw your names around in the Insurgency, but it was only really in Sandstorm where we actually did
Mm.
things.
I
Yeah, well,
remember.
that was when Insurgency was starting to die off as a player base, and then we started to all go separate ways, and then this is kind of like one one place where we can they're sort of regroup together.
Are you talking about Sandstorm
Remember,
or Insurgency, the
Uh,
original?
well, original Sandstorm, or sorry, original Insurgency, like at some point, people started to move
Yeah.
to play Sandstorm, so then the player base was kind
Yeah.
of shifting at that time, and then we were like as a player base across Cernix and INS, we were kind of how to say not as cohesive as before.
Sandstorm was pretty good though. Like I played the beta and I was really impressed with the sound design and the environment, even though my computer can barely run it. And then I didn't
mm,
actually get the game until like a few months later. It launched.
mm,
Yeah, I didn't get the game until like much later
yeah,
when
same.
the player base was kind of established into Sandstorm, and I could like mentally move my mind from original Insurgency to Sandstorm.
Yeah, but the game pre-alpha, yeah, because of a sale, yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
you actually committed early.
Yeah.
I thought you don't
And
really.
yeah, this game actually forced me to upgrade a lot of stuff, yeah.
So you
I think I
well,
started this game, I was on an i5 and yeah, just 8 gigs of RAM, I think, yeah. And
Mm.
1 terabyte hard drive, yeah. That's my OS and it was slow as hell.
are you talking about your personal computer or your like,
Yeah, my
and then and
personal
then your
rig, yeah.
and then your server? What will happen to your server? How'd that start?
So parts of it went to my server.
Oh, okay. So it's a backup
I
backup
I I
stuff.
did, yeah, I did upgrade to an i7-3770 at some point, and it's now my server, yeah. Speaking of, I might need to turn that on now in a short while, yeah. I'll turn it on, yeah.
You're still running games?
Yeah, still running games, yeah. Recently, I think Killing Floor had a super sale, 95% off. I
Oh, yeah,
was
it's like $1,
surprised
yeah.
to, yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
surprised to see that there are lots of people playing on my server. It filled up a few times for the past few nights, yeah.
I haven't been on Steam in a while, but I think the last thing I was people trying to get me to play was Don't Starve Together. My friend was gonna gift it to me.
Oh. Oh.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like
Yeah, I've played
the
it a few times.
survival. Yeah.
bought it, installed it, and then forget all about it, yeah. Just like a crap ton of other games I have in here.
I find that game is very like knowledge based because if you don't know the recipes, then you can't really do anything.
Mm.
I mean, it's similar to any other survival game, right? Where you need to craft. Is that it?
Yeah, a lot of crafting involved, and then but the thing is
Are you-
like that's based on knowledge, right?
So you're farming as well.
You have to, yeah, survive. Yeah. The monsters come.
Kind of reminds me of like Valheim. Tony keeps playing.
Um,
So
There's an
what would you?
update for Valheim.
Oh, you still play Valheim?
Not yet, but it might.
So we started with Insurgency and then moved to Sandstorm, and then after that, kind of did a lot of things, right? What would you say is
Yeah,
we did like Deep Rock Galactic, and then I think our last game was Ready or Not. But we'd also did some
yeah.
other small games.
Alien Swarm, yeah.
What would,
Helldivers.
what would you say is I didn't
Yeah.
play Helldivers. What was your favorite game you played, or most memorable?
I think with us it'll be Ready or Not, because I think that was the time where we're more as a group, more we understood each other more, and we're more friends. Yeah, our friend level went up more. So I think with Rero, you were the one that was leading. Yeah, you were leading the organizing the events and then studying of the various tactics. You were the one that got us really like
Yeah.
I mean,
on the ball on that
I
one.
had fun training. It was take the stuff you would watch from YouTube, and then try and see if you apply it to gaming, see if that works.
Yeah, because before I think before with Insurgency Sandstorm, we were kind of like the early days of organizing, right? Like we were practicing the commanding and then very like loose team tactics where at most it's like we will move together as an entire team and then that's about it. But later in Ready or Not, you started introducing like specific tactics, right? Like
Yeah.
two-man tactics, then four-man, and then splitting teams. Yeah, that was more organized. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do specialize in the. Well, I like to say I'm more interested in the close quarter aspect. Whereas if we were trying to do some team play in Arma, then I would have no clue how to organize the formation.
Well, I think an Arma formation isn't that important. It's more about strategy, about like, okay, which buildings should we take, rather than okay, are we like a line formation, V formation? That's not so important.
It's more
I
like
did not
macro,
have
yeah.
a. Go ahead.
Yeah, like what you said, it's more macro. It's just more big picture stuff, right? Just go take this building, right? And that's about it. It's not like specific to the point where we're noticing the small details, like the micro, not even necessarily in the macro managing, but being able to read body languages of our teammates, being able to verbally communicate was more important in Ready or Not than I would say in Arma, which is more, in some ways, more forgiving.
I'm just glad people took lead for Arma because I didn't know what I was doing and I needed to be carried a lot.
Yeah, I think you did really well in Ready or Not. I think that's a lot harder, leading in Ready or Not, because there's too much things happening at the same time, and the time to react is within seconds, or if not less than, right? But with Arma, you don't really have to react that quickly. You can just give like general orders, and that's about it. And then let the individual player like manage themselves.
True. I do have a background in my gaming career. So I put in like 1,000 hours into Rainbow Six Siege. I think Dad said we tried playing that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So with Rainbow Six Siege is PvP close quarter combat. So that's where I kind of gotten used to developing the reaction time and the kind of basic skills. But because it's a hero shooter, it's not quite the same as going in 5 stack in Ready or Not. So you guys still,
So
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. So what's that game that we played? Horror, the one that go GTFO. Yeah, GTFO. I
Oh,
remember you were leading for that one.
you remember
That was really good.
GTFO?
Yeah, that was honestly. I think that one is mentally more challenging than Ready or Not because the way the the buildings, the map is procedure generated, right? And they don't really follow like conventional architecture, like things that we're used to. It's like a building has 8 rooms and they're all like in a weird configuration,
Yeah.
and it messes with my head. And I don't know how you somehow like you're able to orient yourself, and then you're able to tell us what to do. And that was pretty cool.
Well, I did put in like over 1,000 hours in GTFO, so I've developed the the mind skill where you can kind of understand the map and have it in your head. So obviously it took some time, but the thing with GTFO is that the rooms are procedurally generated, but it's only for the level. So the level is always the same in terms of the room layout, and like they call them. This is similar to DRG. They have the rooms. They generate the rooms, and then they have the entrance and the exit or a different door. So with GTFO, it starts small and then it goes to large. And I mean, I put in like 2 years into that game grinding on a Professor Scalar server. So
Mm.
it is quite the investment to get good, but it is fun with just learning it. I mean, she wasn't interested, so
Yeah, like I think I have a very particular taste in games.
well, you did play a
Uh,
DRG, Deep Rock Galactic.
yeah, but for some reason GTFO just did not rub off in the right way for me.
Yeah, GTFO
There was
is
something
quite
there was something a little bit
difficult.
off for me. Maybe because
Hmm.
it was the horror environment that was more, how do I say, more I want to say more evident, but like it was more prominent than DRG.
Well, we'll
Like
say
DRG kind of gave me yeah, sorry.
GTFO is not new player friendly at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for games that have a very steep learning curve at the beginning, that deters a lot of players unless they
Yeah,
are committed.
it's very steep. Yeah,
I will say now there's like over 50, 60 levels now that the game is complete and it's ended. So the challenge is literally up to heaven. That was the last level, I remember.
did they escape?
Yeah, you escape, but it
Oh,
was one
nice.
hell of a level. You needed everyone to be on point, and the timing was almost impeccable.
Like lore wise, they escape the abyss. Like they're
Oh, they
free.
they teleport to a different dimension. That's how they escape.
Oh, nice.
And then the whole point of the last rundown was you have the main cast, and then you have the alternate dimension cast you play as. So that was the gimmick. It was a good game. Just quite the high learning curve.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they had just like combat, right? None of that big brain stuff with the whole you gotta type in into the
Oh, they
computer
do have some
console.
levels like that. They do have some levels
Oh,
like that. I think I remember you did say you like those levels.
yeah.
One of them is like literally a straight line up. But enough about GTFO. Why don't we talk about Deep Rock? I hear it's getting a new update, season 5.
Yeah.
Shadow GX have been talking to me about how I should come back because it's a big update, and then they're launching. I don't know. How much have you heard about it?
I
Anyone?
haven't been following DRG that much. I think mentally I've checked out from that game. Like I've played enough. I had fun, but then like the core gameplay is relatively the same for me, and then to me it just kind of outlived the time in my brain.
Well, true. Supposedly the new season will be very different. They're actually adding a new hazard, Hazard 5 Plus, as well as new enemies.
Yeah, I think I was mentally checked out a long time ago too.
I know Death's had fun. He actually got good where he carried Destinate.
Mm.
Destinate, aka Cirque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should get him on the podcast in the future. That'd be fun. Uh, anyway, would you guys be down for a weekly podcast? So the goal is to build up a buffer of episodes before you just
Mhm.
publish them.
Should we have like some kind of loose topic, like a list maybe?
Yeah, so you can always throw in some topics into the chat beforehand. We can have that as a prompt. So I came into this podcast with about the introduction, who we are, our history, our games, why we're starting the podcast, and so I feel like we covered all of that.
Mm.
Yeah, we can
So
have
now,
like an agenda, like not to make it too formal, but then like I guess a general
Like a yeah
agenda
loose
or
thing.
list
Yeah.
of topics that we can touch on. Then like at least for me, like it takes time for me to think about stuff. It doesn't
Yeah, like
immediately
an
come to mind. So then like okay, well, if there's an agenda sort of like published a day in advance, then I can think about it throughout the day before the
yeah.
actual podcast comes.
do you want to try hosting as well? So we'll just change a host once in a while, and that person will essentially lead the conversation a little bit. What I've been trying
Oh,
to do here.
yeah.
Me, maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, so I wanted to bring this podcast as very dynamic and free flow and very conversational. Obviously, we bring some topics beforehand and we talk about them. I did some research on how we should set up the objective, and so this would be to talk with other people in our community and I guess invite some other people because I
Mm.
see Tony's been in Happy Tree Friends and making a lot of new friends there. So we can
Yeah.
have them come over eventually. Uh, I don't know. Guys have any questions you want to talk about?
Mm.
Hmm.
Not so much, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe like do we talk about personal stuff or no? That's like off the podcast. Maybe
I'm
off
I'm
topic.
com- I wouldn't say it's talk about whatever you want, I'd
Oh.
say. So if you want to talk about me then or yourself, I'm okay with that.
Oh, I was gonna ask like I think when when you planning to come back and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, I miss you guys. That's why I started the podcast, but there's no set date. So
Mm.
I think I'll tell you right now, I do have an offer to go to Iowa to go count the dead bats that are dying to the wind turbines. That is a job.
What?
A good paying one or so?
It's like a 4-month temporary job. So I interviewed it because it was like it has nothing to do with my field, and I don't know. They wanted me because they wanted these 30 people to go and live there, and then it's like a study where because all the bats are not all of them, but a significant amount are dying to the wind turbines. So they just want
Is
someone
this
to
like a like a government grant research or is it like private?
I think it's private. So they would
Oh.
give you housing and they would give you a rental vehicle and you just kind of live out in the country versus the city because I'm tired of the city.
Like, are we talking about a corporation or like small, like mom and pop kind of deal?
I think it's
Because
a
this is
corporation,
okay. Because it's
but
kind
they're
of
like
sketchy.
they're hired for doing these kind of surveys. So I don't know. I,
Oh,
I accepted it if I couldn't find anything else within the next month. So I would probably be going to Iowa in like end of June,
hmm.
but I would still continue doing podcasts just on my laptop.
Are you? Yeah, are there specific like careers you're looking into, or just any kind of job is you're okay like to
Well, I
try?
have a mechanical engineering degree, so I'm trying to use that. But
What?
it's
That's a
kind
nice.
of like it's kind of useless where I'm at because New York City is mostly civil, and I don't have the internship experience, so it's like I don't have work experience, so it's like uh yeah, I'm in a very odd situation.
Wait, mechanical engineering? Do you, okay, I was looking up my city's job listing, and I did see some. They said mechanical engineering. So I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe other cities.
there's usually a EIT or some kind of certification I don't have, so it's like trying to go for
Hmm.
technician roles, something like that. Something where you get your foot in the door. That's where I'm standing.
Like if you're willing to relocate, then obviously your opportunities will open up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan. So the thing with Iowa is that it's great because they out there in the country it's cheap housing, but for this job they actually allow you to room with other people and you don't pay for the housing. So it's like a 4-month summer job essentially. I was talking to the recruiter and her nephew was like some engineer or student, so he was going to take that job if he could get an internship. I don't know. It'll give me an excuse to drive and walk out and see the wind turbines. So keep applying. That's a state right now.
Yeah, I heard I'm not sure your state, but your city seems to be going through some really hard times right now. I mean, seeing the like news about it like almost every day.
Oh, I will gladly talk about New York City and how it's going to hell. People are great. Policies and all the things that's going on are pretty bad. I've actually been watching on this YouTube channel, Cash Jordan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, I was watching that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he covers it pretty well in detail. And so while he does more Manhattan stuff, um, I mean, you occasionally see it out here too.
Yeah, yeah. Because every day they're showing that, and then we're going into like a lot of the shops. They're just closing, and they're just leaving the city. Yeah, and then so it's empty. So like the landlords are like can't really rent it out because no one wants to do business there. And there was one segment where talking about the malls next to the subway. So that one is supposedly really crime ridden, and yeah, people can't seem to do business there too.
Well, the problem with the subway is that even though they have officers like at the stations, the crime happens in the trains. So
Man, that's
it's
rough.
Very disappointing place, but we try to stay positive. But so for people who don't know, I'm in New York City. Alexi's in Hawaii. You're in the main island, right? Oahu.
Yeah.
She was in Vancouver.
Yep.
Detsa is in somewhere in the Philippines, I believe.
Yeah, Quezon City, the Philippines, yeah.
It's in city. How do you say that? That's it. I'm just curious. I'll look it up.
Quezon City, yeah. It's right beside the main Manila, yeah. It's the largest city, yeah. Right smack dab in the middle of the metro.
So my parents actually went to Philippines last year, and they talked about the cheap food there. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that why you're always eating junk food in the food health nutrition chat?
Yeah.
I see some videos of the like really high class buffets in Philippines. Look pretty good. In
Buffets?
Oh,
fancy
yeah,
hotels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda sad one of the pioneers of that is closing down sometime in July or maybe end of June, yeah. Yeah. But that's life, yeah.
There's a buffet out on Long Island where it's like called K Town. They have Korean barbecue, hot pot, and yeah, it's it's those two. So you can like grill your own meat or like do your own hot pot, all in the
Oh,
same
that's
table.
good.
And then they also have like, sushi and normal buffet stuff. So I thought that was crazy because it was all in one.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Pricey, but uh, very good. It's
Yeah.
basically like a rush. You have 90 minutes to eat, and you're basically just shoveling food in your mouth.
Yeah.
The center of the table is a large grill, so you can just cook all the beef all you want.
Yeah. We used to have good buffets here, but I don't know. The quality has gone down a lot, and the price is going up. Like I think decent buffets are in the hundreds per person, and I think that's kind of too much. Just to eat a couple plates of food and go home.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
find
I've
that
Speaking of,
tasted
buffets
it in
are.
here, yeah.
I don't really like the idea of buffets because it's kind of like it encourages overconsumption.
well, the real question is, what are you eating at the buffet? If it's like the dough stuff, then you're obviously losing out.
Yeah.
If you're going for the fruit and the meat or the fish, I think you're winning.
That's hopefully they're honest with their meat and not using like cheap cuts or like zombie meat.
It
Yeah.
probably is, to be honest. Sometimes they have salmon. I go for that.
Because I heard, like they could, I don't know how they do it, but they can use some kind of like a glue meat together to look like it's steak, but it's not. Yeah, it's like meat parts from discarded parts or undesired cheap parts.
Yeah, like that's also one of the reasons why I don't really like going to like all you can eat places, like sushi places, because they logically it makes financial incentive for those restaurants or buffets to use, lower quality, cheaper ingredients. So like the last time I went to a buffet was in Las Vegas and it was really expensive. But how I measured success, as in like customer value, is about like the spread of things you could try within one visit rather than how many
Oh,
things you could eat. It's about how many
oh,
different
that's
things you could
true.
try.
Okay.
The experience, yeah.
Yes.
So my strategy in buffets is to hit the sushi aisle first, and then go for like the vegetables or the meat. Because if I go for the fried stuff, I'll just fill myself up and then be like unhealthy.
Yeah.
But you
I
also talked
generally
about
avoid
the
the
type
rice.
the type of buffet. Like if they're American owned or like Chinese owned, then can't really expect good quality. Depends on the buffet.
Yeah. I went
Lexi?
to the buffet at the Wynn Hotel. So I mean it's pretty reputable. It's not like those hole in the wall kind of places. They got a reputation to maintain. So
But
that was
dang,
okay. Yeah.
buffet in Las Vegas.
Very expensive, but I think it was worth it. Just because like I could try a lot of different things.
Like, would you
Yeah.
honestly eat Mexican food in a buffet or pizza?
There are
Mm.
some things that I didn't touch because I didn't feel like it was worth my stomach space. But still I was pleased at the end because I got to try a lot of different things. Um yeah. And there were like good things too. There were like crab leg, steak, roast beef, different kind of desserts.
Oh, that does sound good with
Yeah.
the seafood and meat.
Yeah.
I saw some wasteful behavior. So a long time ago there was a Japanese style buffet, right? So they had this like a whole entire section on just sushis, okay? And there were people that just go there and they would take the type of like nigiri where you have a raw fish on top and then the bottom is rice. So
Yeah.
they didn't have a sashimi area, right, where it's just they only serve raw fish. So people would just take the sushi, right, and they would take the raw fish, they would eat that, and then they would leave the rice behind, and they would like leave a big pile of rice behind.
What?
That was
I
so
mean, it's
wasteful.
filler. The rice is filler. But the thing is, are they taking the entire thing, right? They're not just leaving. They're not just taking the fish off.
No, they do take the whole thing, but they'll take it back to the table, okay, and then they will just eat the fish, okay, and they will leave like a mountain of rice, and they will cover it up with like napkins.
What?
That's kind of that's really bad.
Yeah.
The rice is filler, but that's like okay. They're maximizing their fish.
Yeah, like when people go to a buffet, the behavior kind of changes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you pay a set amount, and then people feel like they have to maximize
Yeah.
their money's worth.
Reason why I make a beeline for the roast beef section immediately. Yeah.
And then, like you said, like so people have different goals when attending a buffet.
Yeah.
People have different ways of measuring success. For myself, like I said, it's about trying different things. But for some
Yeah.
people, it's about okay, eating the most that they can, getting the
So
most for their money in that
so
way.
how varied is your food at the buffet? Because the ones I go to are like they're mostly the same for like lunch, but unless you go at a different time or different buffets, they're mostly the same.
Yeah, so it was really funny because when I went to the Win buffet at 2 p.m., they were already serving dinner.
That's
So
lunch though.
I had to pay a little bit more, but then again, yeah, dinner is more bountiful. Just walking through like the different um buffet tables, it took like 2.5 minutes. So there was a lot to choose from.
I don't know. I can't go that often. My stomach's too small for buffets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun once in a while, I think. Yeah.
So that's it. This is the spiral
Yeah, that was the Pioneer, and it's in the Sofitel Hotel, and kind of sad that it will be shutting down sometime end of June or July. So, yeah. And the second link, that's the more common one now, Vikings. Yeah, that's where we usually go, and yeah, when we celebrate birthdays because the person who has the birthday is free. So
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's like 50, immediately 50% off.
we usually do that birthday buffets.
Yeah.
Just bring the entire family and just sit there.
I remember there was one buffet where the birthday person gets to eat free, but they have to bring like 3 other people.
Yeah.
You know?
In the Vikings, it's at least one other person. So yeah, immediately 50% off. It's just me and my wife. Yeah.
I wasn't aware there was a birthday discount. I should try
Some
it.
some places have, not all.
All right. Well, we talked about a lot today, so let's wrap up the podcast then.
Right.
Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you. So, are you fine with doing a weekly thing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
All right. See you next week.
All right,
Yeah.
man.
How do I stop
Nice
this
talking
thing?
to you.